Ladies and gentlemen, here's the motherfucking tea.
Happy Monday, everybody. We're back with another My Hero Academia review. Over to my camera left is Granthony.
Hey, what's up? I pulled up his name just so I wouldn't say it wrong. Tokoyami. I always want to say Tokoyomi.
Tokiyomi?
Yeah.
Because his hero name is Tsukuyomi.
Hey, I didn't introduce you yet.
I don't give a
Well, you introduce yourself now.
I was fucking waiting for you at this point.
No,
God,
you've already
no.
cut into it, so go ahead.
Okay, hi. I'm May, and I'm here to talk about My Hero, a show that I watch week to week and have been reminded why I hate watching anime week to week. I love binging it. I can't wait between episodes.
Little bites ain't enough.
It is tough. Shonen, even when you're doing 2 chapters an episode, is still, it's a little hard. It's a little harsh.
Yeah.
Gosh knows that reading week to week, the latest arc has been tough, just because they just started the final arc of the manga. By the way, like they confirmed
really?
it's the final arc. So like
They'll never
that
make
has
it.
me
They'll never make it to year 2.
That kind of has me excited. I feel like things need endings sometimes.
I
feel like My Hero is getting to the point, at least even in the anime already, where I'm like, all right, I feel like I've got a vibe for what this is. I hope we kind of either big shifts or start making towards an ending. And sounds like that's
I'm
going that way.
I'm Mr. Please give me a start, middle, and end. Please, I beg you. I do not like when something just goes on and on and on.
It's why I love Mob Psycho. Each of the seasons ended in such a way where it's like, that can be it. I can be okay with that.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like the story arcs that one tells in that regard. It's interesting to think that Mob Psycho, I like Mob Psycho more than I like One Punch Man. And I thought, man, One Punch Man is so good. How could anything ever compare? And then boom. Like
They both have such heart, but Mob Psycho just like it feels way more wholesome for whatever reason.
Well,
probably because the character's more relatable in a lot of ways.
Yeah. It's an overpowered, whereas Saitama is like affected by ennui, Mob is affected by insecurity.
Yeah,
and I really like that.
And that's very relatable.
Yeah.
But
we're not here to talk about Mob. We're not here to talk about one. We're here to talk about Horikoshi and his
Operation New Improv Moves. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, that's the name of the episode.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's the first time Tokoyami is going to use a skill in Japan.
Except for in the manga and except for in the movie.
Which definitely premiered,
which was also in Japan.
Well, I think it's more he does not use that power in the nation of Japan, in the world of My Hero.
You know what?
They were outside of Japan during the movie.
Weren't they on like they were definitely in like one of those old looking Japanese villages in the movie.
I think they specifically say they were like abroad or something. Well,
this is out of territory.
Hold on. I thought they were in like Okinawa or some shit.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Either
they might
way,
have
this is
been.
the first time in the
Japan.
show.
According to the show, it says.
In the show, it's the first time he's done this. And you know what? It is a really cool power, and I do like the way they show it off. And it's cool getting a Tokoyami episode because throughout the entire show, they've put him on a power scale that sometimes has him dwarfing some of the characters that are just supposed to be more powerful, you know? Like, they put him on the same scale as dear God, now since I said his name. Todoroki. Fucking Midoriya. The only one, like, he's probably on the same power level as Bakugo, but as Bakugo loves to point out, he's a terrible match for Bakugo.
I really like Tokoyami is actually low key one of my favorite characters, both because of his actual like character and his design. The fucking bird head, the cloak, the constant references to darkness and the poetry that he wants to espouse. It's really funny because I don't know how much of it is actually him and how much of it is a character that he's putting on, and that's sort of adorable. And I'm looking forward to, as he grows up, growing more into that. And I love the fact that the moment that Kurohiro shows up, they both start bantering off one another with their fucking darkness. And the fact that Kurohiro keeps shivering.
They gave like some weird lore drop too. Like, I'm not sure if this is real, if it indicates like what religion is in this world, but they're like, I see you too are a follower of the deep. I'm like, what's that?
Yeah, he's absolutely 100% like they're just goth kids vibing.
Yeah. These are two wayward goths who've come across one another and are recognizing each other's gothness.
Because there aren't a lot at the school, there just aren't a lot of goth kids at that school, so they
And
like
you don't want to put them both in the same class. God help you.
Yeah,
it's too much.
Someone pointed out his room in the chat, and like, yeah, his room is all dark and brooding, but like, again, Tokoyami seems like a guy who's trying to build a character for himself, and part of that might be like, no, my room needs to be dark. One of my favorite goddamn things from Tokoyami is when I think it was Denki Kaminari like holds up a cool looking pendant thing and is like, hey, I had a keychain like this back when I was younger.
Yeah, I had one of these back in or middle school or something. It's just
I got it from a Hot Topic or whatever the Japanese version of a Hot Topic is.
I always kind of wondered about his room because it's been heavily shown that when he's in darker environments, Dark Shadow just sort of does what the fuck it wants. Like, his whole training was going into a dark ass cave to, commune with the beast, I guess. But his room is so dark, like it's lit by a black light.
Yeah, a part of me does kind of have to wonder exactly how he sleeps.
If he sleeps.
Ooh.
Well, he's a bird. If you cover the light, he thinks it's nighttime and he falls asleep.
There you go.
But yeah, so this episode is all about the next fight between Team A and Team B. On Team A, we have Yayorozu.
Actually, real quick,
Before we go into that,
they do start with like reviewing the last fight and like kind of not so much dressing down, but like talking to the people who competed in the last fight.
I did like that.
And I think it's really cool how they emphasize like particularly Kirishima and Sue, how both of them like really are like immediately like, oh,
this is what I did. This is what I did wrong.
Yeah.
This could have gone way better if I had done this any different, in a real situation, I'd be dead. Yeah. They went into the whole, these guys that went out and did the work study, they're out there,
these are the ones who've had boots on the ground nearly being killed during real hero work. They're starting to see why this shit's so important.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we kind of jumped to Kaminari, who had a kind of a shining moment. So he's like, I did great. They're like, yeah, after all your friends were knocked out, is that the only way you're going to be able to work? It's just like, whoa, okay, I guess
after all your friends were knocked out and you were essentially caught. Great job.
It's like, and Shinzo, it's just like, you're already frustrated. That's good. You're already looking to improve. Nice.
Yeah. He very quickly points out his shortcomings, but Aizawa is good to point out, like, hey, those shortcomings are natural. Like, that's going to happen at your stage. Yeah. So just keep working on it.
It took me years and years to master, like, some of the stuff that you're already doing with the catch fiber or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Memory fiber or whatever.
Meanwhile,
I really wanted to highlight that part because I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Midnight is just going crazy over all these kids because she wants to see the new generation grow and like become amazing.
The springtime of youth.
But
That's
it's winter.
Springtime of youth, man.
I do like the the springtime of youth and fucking like without missing a beat. Toshinori's like, but it's summer.
It's summertime.
But yeah. It's good. It's good shit. I'm glad we covered it. But yeah, so the actual fight starts with Yayorozu,
Invisible Girl, Aoyama,
Agakure, Tokoyami, and Aoyama. Tokoyami? Damn it! Now I'm second guessing.
Told you. That's why I gotta have it up here.
Yeah,
Tokoyami.
Fumikage.
Yeah, Fumikage Tokoyami, and it's a real like. A motley crew in certain ways. I do love how like they have that scene where all of them are sitting around trying to be like, okay, how do we do this? And like, Mina keeps coming up with stupid ideas.
I also really liked that when they were kind of watching this team walk out, Todoroki specifically mentions like how he's like, I wonder how Yairozu's like plan is gonna go, and I think that's cool because like they had to do the one test together where it was all about how she was like falling apart when her plans don't work, and so it's like I think it's cool that like we're kind of having that little extra detail of like he has this insight on what she's about, and he's like, I know what to keep an eye for.
Yeah.
See how her planning goes.
She's definitely set up as kind of the de facto captain of the team. She's been shown to be the strategist in pretty much every situation she's been in since the finals exam with Todoroki.
Yeah. And I like how Kendo, by the way, I don't know if it had been said before, but knowing that Kendo is class rep makes a lot of sense, especially with how she treats Monoma. Is it Monoma?
Yeah. Copy dude. Yeah.
Yeah, copy dude. And watching
she's
her
just the big sister of the class.
Yeah. She acts.
She's class marm.
Yeah, she's class mom. And I do like how she basically says, like, hey, why didn't you take part in the beauty pageant? And Yamarosa was like, I don't know. It didn't really come up. I guess he didn't think it was important. And she's like, well, guess what? We're fighting now, okay? You and me? It's on.
Yeah,
and fucking Yamarosa is like,
go.
all right, let's fucking go. And
I love,
give it our best, Gan Bate. Here you have like a friendship battle, basically. It's like, yeah, let's see who does best, because one of them has been in a like true life or death situation. One of them has been face to face with somebody that could have obliterated them if they saw them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like this kind of like iron sharpens iron. We know we're both going to improve each other by being good. So give me a good fight.
Yeah. And
I love Tetsu's like out, just like over the top excitement to explain how great Kendo is, and then just like adding in at the end of just being like, and if it wasn't for her, like a lot of this class would probably followed him on all of his insanity, and things would have been bad. So way to go, Kendo.
Yeah, without her, remember those people who were hurt by that poison? Would have been worse. Some of them could have been dead.
So the battle starts, and very quickly we see that Tokoyami can now send Dark Shadow farther than he's ever been able to, which gives great reconnaissance abilities. But unfortunately, he's matched up against probably one of his worst opponents. Like, it's the worst matchup for him.
No, Bakugo is still way worse.
Bakugo
just due to the fact that he can literally shut down his entire power.
Yeah. So it's Kurohiro, I'm just going to call him Kurohiro.
He's Shadow Guy.
Yeah, by the way, so before we go into him, I want to cover something that was a little weird in the subtitles versus what was being said in the dialogue. Did either of you notice something weird with our Shadow Guy?
Not particularly. I wasn't really looking for anything. And my Japanese is not exactly great, so.
So I actually didn't pick up on this and from the manga, but I was watching it and I heard Vanta Black. His hero name is Vanta Black or Vanta Black, but the dub says Vanta Dark. And I was like, why did they change that? That's really strange. Why did they change it from Vanta Black to Vanta Dark? By the way, Vanta Black, by the way, is actually the darkest possible black. And it is trademarked.
Yep.
It is fucking trademarked. You can't
absolute dark.
And the douchebag who owns it is incredibly litigious. So they honestly, if I were them, I would have actually gone with Fanta Black, like Phantom, like Pha.
Honestly, that's what I thought it was when you said it at first.
Yeah, I would have gone with Fanta instead of Vanta Dark. Because I'm sorry, Vanta Dark sound it's not nearly as cool as Vanta Black.
It's strange because this show and a lot of anime in general, especially JoJo, rife with this sort of thing where in the dub,
Oingo boingo.
In the sub, you'll hear them say Oingo boingo, Zenyatta Manata, or to call it back to My Hero, just last season we had Phantom Menace,
and it became
Phantom Threat.
Yeah, which as it turns out, Japan can use a bunch of stuff from other countries and not have to worry about getting in trouble. However, over here we're like, not happening. Not okay.
Not taking this chance.
Yeah, it sucks.
What a funny
but,
thing
like,
copyright is.
Like if you did the subs and you put it in the way it's spoken, you might be able to shift the blame, but you still don't want to deal with the potential lawsuit if you do.
Yeah, so it kind of sucks, but they did it. But yeah,
I really thought Naval Laser Guy was gonna play a bigger role in this because his thing is like all about lighting stuff up, and like this guy's power is all about I get away through darkness, and like
And
we kind of get there maybe eventually, but like I really thought like when he kind of ran up front, I was like, oh cool, like Aoyama's gonna get to do something right. Oh no, he's just kind of
Not
getting
yet.
in the way.
yeah,
We'll see what happens next episode with him probably. But you had two heroes on this team that can refract lights in such a way that would impact this dude very poorly, but also Tokuyami very poorly.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I did love Shadow Dude's power, like the idea of just hopping into the shadow and going around. I think as long as he is a shadow, he can move that shadow as a form. It seemed to be the thing. He does not have to travel through connected shadows. But if light is put on that shadow, it seems like it's done. Like you're out of it.
Yeah, it sends him out. I want to note. I'm really happy that the animation for these last couple of episodes has been off the charts. This episode had another amazing couple of cuts, like the stuff with the pipes. That's incredibly intricate work. And the fact that they were able to mix the 3D with the 2D so incredibly well, that was some Studio Wit level shit. I was actually pretty impressed. I never want to like talk bad about Bones. They've got an amazing amazing animators in their employ, but just to see this level of quality the last couple of episodes really kind of like restores some faith for me. Like I want, like, because I was rewatching season 1 and there was a ridiculous amount of character acting work going on there and some really cool stuff, and going into season 2 as well. I felt like seasons 3 and 4 kind of wavered a little bit in that.
A little bit.
Yeah, I felt like we weren't seeing as much expression and as much creativity. But here,
It had its moments.
Yeah, here I'm actually pretty happy. I'm really glad that they're stepping it up and making things feel really fresh and cool, and
Even
really
for some of these quote quote smaller moments of the season.
yeah, which makes me pretty psyched for the next. But yeah, it's not bad at all. And again, I'm really glad because if any, it's interesting because I was really worried that considering the nature of these fights, maybe they would, I don't know, use a bunch of still frames.
Oh, you think they're just going to Lemillion this?
Yeah.
God, that's still stuck.
Oh
in
no,
my craw.
that will sting forever. But yeah.
Unfortunately, this episode did tell me exactly what's going to be happening, and no, I don't think we're going to be skipping over a lot. I think we're in this tournament for the long haul, fellas.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that vibe too.
Seems like we're getting. I mean, plus side, there's only like I think 4 actual matchups, so or something like that. What was it, 4 or 5 matchups
I think it's
in
5.
this? It's one of those.
Yeah,
So,
I think it might be 5. I think
Because there were 4. I think there were 4
5.
groups left before it started. Before the second round started. So, but yeah, we'll have to see. Funny enough, I cannot remember how in depth every one of these goes.
I know next episode hopefully we'll see something from Manga Dude because he's in this fight.
Yeah, I know. When I saw he was in the lineup, I was really excited. I was hoping I would see him do something this episode. But yeah, because like Tokuyami gets up front, he's like leading the charge kind of with Dark Shadow specifically, and then
he's the team's offense.
Yeah, but then Creepy Shadow Man lets loose his power, i.e., jumping inside Dark Shadow and taking direct control.
Yeah.
And causing a ruckus, making things go awry.
But that doesn't last too long, luckily.
It was cool to see that, like, you know, it's not just that he can travel through shadows, which I thought was going to happen. Like, I thought he was going to, like, you know, cooler to Goku, travel through Dark Shadow, pop up and just punch Tokuyami in the face, like, bam, right in the beak, which I think would have been cool. It would have been a really cool visual, just pop up, boom, while his shield's out there dealing with people.
Speaking of which, though, and this is something I really appreciated because this is something you don't see happen very often. Vanta, Kurohiro actually seeds an idea into the entire team early on, and then plays on it, saying like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be you and me, Fumikage.
We
yeah,
were
yeah,
destined to fight."
Yeah, and then nope, he's actually going for Aoyama.
Showing that he's like very strategic and conniving. They gave him a title. I can't remember what it was. It was something.
The
It
scheming-
was like
the scheming
something
hero.
of the
Scheming hero. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I'm like, you know, that adds up.
yeah.
And Vines was all sad about his use of deceit.
I'm gonna put it back out there. I don't like Vine. I
No,
don't
yeah,
like.
she's-
I'm sorry. Shut up, girl.
That one note joke.
Yeah, that one note fucking joke. Her
Well,
power's
she-
cool. I like her design. Her fucking personality is like, you are not funny. You weren't funny the first time you did it. You're not funny now.
That's why they gave her all the development she needed back in the fucking sports festival. It's like, she controls Vine. She's really strong, and she's
It's neat.
like, you know, she's you know, like got that holier thing going on, and there you go. That's her.
I would find
She's
it funny.
going. She's going to be a wall for a bunch of people, basically.
Yeah, I would find it funnier if, I don't know, she weren't so like one note. That's
Well,
just my
luckily-
problem.
Luckily, she's in the other class, so we don't need to give a shit too much.
And we've already seen her fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, frankly, there, like I said, there are still people in Class A that I'm like, oh, that's right, you're there.
A little bit. I do like how they were talking about Dakota and like, hey, you've got to be able to give better instructions to your bugs. Which, by the way, I like the fact that they kind of point out, it's like, yeah, you're fighting with bugs now, something that you originally didn't like doing, and he's managing it.
But man, are they useful? I mean, they're tiny. They can get anywhere they need to.
Yeah.
Shino
There are
was always
some
pretty
characters
cool.
whose whole power are bugs, so you know you're just getting wrapped into that.
If he runs into Night Eyes, like the centipeder dude, can he control him, or just his head?
Oh no, I just realized something, by the way.
He
I'm not
should.
logged into the Team 4-Star Zoom. We have like 10 minutes left.
Oh,
What?
well,
Yeah, because I haven't upgraded.
All
right.
Either way, I don't know that there's a whole lot to.
I liked. I'll say it just real quick.
favorite moments.
I liked the flashback showing Hawks kind of teaching Tokoyami and taking him under his wing, so to speak, and being like, "We're birds of a feather, dog." I wanted to bring you in because I needed someone to tell me about the villains, and you seemed like a bird, so I thought you might be cool. And then, like, after a couple weeks of just kind of fucking with him, he's like, "Actually, no. I also thought you have a lot of potential, and you were wasting it. I just really needed you to work before I was gonna let you in on that part." And,
I was hoping we
turns
could
out really
fly
well.
together, bro.
Yeah.
By the way,
Just take some flying, and it's so cute. Just seeing Tokoyami be excited, be a bird.
it's also really funny because what they say in the Japanese version is Tori Nakama. We're Tori Nakama, which I don't know.
Bird friends.
Yeah, we're
bird buds.
Yeah, it's like bird family basically. Like we are bird comrades, and that's really funny to me because I don't know if that is a pun. I don't know if that's wordplay. It's just Tori Nakama, and thank God we have the perfect
Birds of a feather.
We have the perfect. It's really better. Like if we didn't have birds of a feather, yeah, somebody in the chat was like bird bros, and I'm like, you know what? That's
bird
probably
bros, bird bros, bird buds. There's way to go.
yeah. I
boy.
would absolutely go with bird bros, especially for someone like fucking Hawks.
But, yeah,
But
man,
he uses that to kind of bust through, and then I think Mushroom Girl kind of shows up, right?
Yep.
Just trying to recap kind of everything that happens.
Which, by the way, I love her design a lot. Like it is the perfect mixture of like traditional Japanese cute girl and like fantasy storybook character, and it's like that. It's so good. It's so
You'd expect
good.
to see her in an isekai of some type.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that's what manga looked like.
He's just comic panel for a face.
I'm very eager to see how they translate his power into the show. Let me just say.
I am very excited for that. So, is Shadow Boy like just completely eliminated now? Did they catch him at the end of this? I barely remember the end, if I'm going to be honest. I remember they used the cool naval laser in a really cool shot, like where it's bouncing everywhere and you see the light reflecting, you see the camera swooshing.
Yeah, that was neat.
And
they didn't capture him. They got him out of the shadow, but the moment they had him cornered, they were like, "Yeah, we've got you now, and you're all alone." And he's like, "Oh, really? You said
Just
that
like slipped away or something.
It's like you said that Yao Yorozu was so good at planning. Well, guess what? So's Kendo." And then suddenly, mushrooms.
Yeah, that's
everywhere.
right.
That's
They're chasing him, and then the mushrooms kick in. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
and then the shrooms hit.
And then the shrooms hit. Yep. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode. Gets crazy. I will say that it's a wild episode.
Good. I want crazy. I'm down for crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna see both manga guy and mushroom girl like show their powers off, and it's weird.
Do some stuff.
Yeah.
Neat.
Excellent.
So, but yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the episode.
That's the part I'll be interested in, seeing like new powers and cool stuff, and then just moving on to the canon stuff. Like, not that this isn't canon, but the real plot stuff.
Yeah.
I want to see. Out of curiosity, as somebody who has not read the manga, when the last season ended, had this arc already been wrapped up in the manga?
I'm pretty sure.
All right, and the arc that follows this one, had that been wrapped yet?
I don't know. I think it might have been. I think we might have yes. Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's kind of like at the end of it or at the end.
I'm pretty sure we were like about elbow deep into the next arc by the time the anime had finished the previous arc.
What I'm posturing here is that since they're going into the last arc of the manga now, do you think next season's going to be the last season of My Hero?
No. No.
I would think two or three more.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We if we go.
I didn't know like how quick a clip these were coming out.
I would say at the very least we have 2 more seasons left if they do 24 per episode. The arc before this one is a full 24 episodes. Easy peasy.
Okay.
And I can't remember what happened between that last arc and where we're going to be at the end of the next arc. I don't know if there might be 13 episodes worth of stuff there. It's hard for me to remember. A lot of this stuff is kind of blurring together a little bit. But I do know that now that we're on the final arc, we just started. And yeah, it's going to be a long one. I am actually very curious how long it's going to be because they have a lot of stuff to wrap. I was a little bit.
It could be an arc so big it's multiple seasons.
I'm wondering. That's not impossible, depending on how.
I know nothing of the manga. I shouldn't be acting like I have any idea how it's going.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I'm desperately trying not to spoil anything, but
for the sake, I guess, of just giving an overall on this episode, I think it was a good episode.
Oh yeah.
But I think it would be a much better episode if you were in a binge session, as opposed to watching it week to week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No,
it was good, but it'd be way better if I could just keep watching now. Like it would add maybe a point or two to the episode for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I remember when I was reading through these, I actually stopped reading for a couple weeks, and then I went back.
I could not go week to week on manga. I tried that at one point, way back with Naruto. I'm like, oh fuck this.
Yeah, I think part of that has to do. Part of the way that they're able to get away with it is that you get the Shonen Jump manga, and there's a giant fucking book, so it's easy for you to just kind of read through all of it.
Yeah, as a magazine.
Yeah, and it's okay, even though I'm getting half an episode's worth a week, I've got other stories to keep me in the meantime. It's kind of something you do when you're on the train or after you're done studying before you go to bed. It's not this whole activity. So for a lot of people in Japan, it's way easier to consume this stuff.
Right.
And then there's just some people who wait for the tankobons to come out and then they read them that way.
Which are the collection of chapters, right?
Yeah. Tankobons are basically what we call the volumes. So, but yeah, we have 2 minutes left, so we're gonna have to wrap up. I'm gonna have to figure out. I might have to start logging into the Team 4-Star Zoom because
probably.
I know we're fully upgraded on that one. But for this week, a nice 40-minute episode. I hope all of you guys enjoyed.
Yeah. If anybody's digging on the superhero thing, I'm testing out my tabletop RPG over on my channel, twitch.tv/LannyPator here in a few. Got Jesse, my friends Connor, and Shadow will be joining in for a superhero one-shot. So pop in if you enjoy some of that.
Yeah.
That'll be in about an hour.
What about you, Grant? You got anything you want to plug?
I will probably be streaming some Civ either tomorrow or Wednesday. There was a big old patch and lots of cool stuff was added.
Nice.
It's real fun. Also, real quick before we close on the episode, I also liked we got a little bit of Deku being a fanboy again. I feel like it's been a second since he like really nerded out, and it was nice to see that.
I'm always about Deku nerding out. But yeah, and speaking of superhero stuff, I think, oh man, we have so much stuff to talk about in the Talkcast Pod Show. We have so much to talk about. We've got Winter Soldier, we've got Invincible, we've got
Invincible
Mortal
ending
Kombat.
this week. Mortal Kombat's going to be this week's episode. Like I want to talk a lot about that. So tune in on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Time to talk Mortal Kombat on the Talkcast Pod Show.
Yep.
And this has been my hero.
Yep. Everybody, take care, be safe, stay well, and we'll see you next Monday. Bye.
Bye.